In light of an American crocodile taking down someone's golden retriever, Florida needs to have a serious discussion on American crocodiles, their future, and rewilding in Florida. So, just a few days ago, in a canal near Satellite Beach, there was a crocodile swimming and it had a golden retriever in its mouth. It was going to eat it, all that stuff. And it was taken out, removed. And rumors are it's not going to stay in captivity. If that's not true, it's definitely going to be sent down to the South Everglades. Now, there's 3 points I'd like to bring up. 1, what is the current reality of the crocodile's range and what was its past range and what can we see in the future? 2, where does this species, and this isn't now a croc skull, not an American croc skull, but use your imagination. 2, where does this species lie with rewilding and enjoyment efforts of, flamingos, sharks, manatees, dolphins, birds, all this stuff that we also have in Florida? And then 3, how dangerous is the American crocodile? Firstly, there's still, perhaps misconception among some Floridians, and certainly in the media.
The rare reptiles have made their way this far north of their usual habitat before, but this is the first time some neighbors have seen
that this expansion of the croc's range is new. The fact is, the crocodile, American crocodile in Florida, used to range essentially from Tampa Bay straight across through Florida in the latitude, and the Space Coast area, along both those coasts, with obviously higher numbers in the South Everglades, and obviously the coast there and the Keys. It didn't really occur as far inland as obviously the American alligator. It's reclaiming where it used to live. Now we go into the second point. Where does the crocodile in our rewilding efforts and how we enjoy Florida rank with all these other animals? Because obviously we want to see manatee. Obviously seeing a flamingo is awesome. Obviously sharks, people know their ecological role. But here's the thing. The American crocodile does get a lot of criticism, does get that fear, it gets that anxiety about this big animal being in that canal and being worried about it, and rightfully so. We don't want this taking people's pets and we don't want it harming children. But here's an uncomfortable conversation. Can we remove or control for all variables when we've built on these areas and now the animals are starting to come back? And if we see a manatee coming back, it's, usually no one has a problem. But we see a croc come back and people are like, get it out, all this stuff. And that's not everyone, but there is a big criticism of the American crocodile. If we're going to be upset about it going to new developments, we at least can't relocate it halfway across the state, because that essentially kills the efforts for conservation and for what we really want in Florida with conservation of all species. And having it in its own wild area, moving this animal instead of removing it from the Satellite Beach and all the way down south or captivity, but putting it in Merritt Island area or all that